Hi guys, we are here for episode 2, Road to Redemption, and we're currently sitting at 7 weeks out today. As of this very day, we're 7 weeks out. So when you kind of came last week and we started the episode, my meals were already kind of pre-cooked for me. They were in the fridge because my wife Annette, she was away at work. But this week you're actually getting the privilege of behind the scenes footage of what does it look like to prepare my low carb day meals here at the weekend. So this is what Annette's doing at the minute. She's slaving away, preparing my meals, getting ready to get packed up before we head up to Cumbernauld and do some filming in Levels. Right, so in terms of meals, I've already had 2 meals this morning, so I've still got another 3 to go, and this is what Annette's kind of like prepping for me at the minute. So the meal that she just thrown together there, this is one of the low carb chicken salad meals. So I have got 150 grams of chicken in there with a choice of kind of like seasoning. There's lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, peppers, and a dash of olive oil goes over the top for some essential fats. So I have that actually twice. So there's 2 meals, just chicken salads. And then there is one meal that's incorporated in there that's got 100 grams of rice in it. I know we're on a low carb day, but I have some carbohydrates in the morning with my breakfast. And then with meal 4, I have another kind of splash of carbohydrates just to kind of keep the body fueled and energised, and we're not going kind of like completely carb free throughout the day. So in total, on a low carb day, we take in roughly about 2,450 calories. On a high carb day, which is kind of like Monday to Friday, we increase the calories up to 2,950. Similar sort of meals, similar sort of setup. We just have more chicken. We go up to 200 grams of chicken. Carbohydrates with every meal, so we have about 200 grams of rice with 2 of the meals and 250 grams of white potato with another meal. And then breakfast and evening after the gym, there's 80 grams of oats as carbs. So there's carbs in every single meal on the high days. We're packing up some supplements that we need to take whilst I'm working out in the gym. So this week I'm going to take some taurine with me, just because we're 7 weeks out. We're now starting to kind of get a wee bit fatigued. Taurine supports hydration and endurance in the gym. Highly branched silic dextrin, some fast acting carbs. That'll kind of like keep the energy levels high throughout the training workout. Creatine, everybody's essential. Creatine there just boosts strength whilst we're in the gym. I'm also taking some electrolyte powders. Electrolytes just replace kind of like the minerals and the salts that I'm going to lose while I'm working out. And then the last one, some essential amino acids this time. The amino acids just provide kind of like building blocks for muscle protein synthesis. It'll just help me all throughout the training, so that's why we have that nice little concoction there as a intra-workout drink. Mix up some pre-workout, give me the energy boost that we need for when we're in the gym. More intense one again, like I say, we're in, it's just the way it's kind of falling at the minute in terms of kind of like low carb days. So when we're recording the content, low carb days fall in, so always when it's a low carb day, I need this to kind of boost it. So we're going to go with the high stim one. I think it's got 600 milligrams of caffeine in it. Three espresso shots.
So the plan of action for the gym as well, what's the split looking like compared to last week?
So training this week, we've got a chest day in there. So today it's more a bit like hypertrophy rather than last week. It was a bit more kind of like volume, getting the pump on the shoulders. So today it's kind of like 10 to 12 reps on each muscle group, each exercise in terms of chest. So there's maybe about 6 or 7 exercises in there, 3 or 4 sets, just depending on what the coach is kind of like loaded in for me. So yeah, we'll go in there. Nice chest session today. I do like a chest session, but I usually like it on a high carb day because it's quite an intense muscle group to train when you're kind of like running on low energy. So hopefully that pre-workout does its job. Having a partner supporting you in a contest prep is one of the biggest things. If you're in a relationship, whether it be a girlfriend or you're married, having a supportive partner is probably the biggest thing that, in relation to me anyways, because I always kind of like think behind every good man there's a better woman. I've been fortunate enough to be with my wife for 21 years now. We met when we were young. Annette she probably gave up on some of her dreams to kind of like follow my dreams. She's kind of like followed me wherever I went. I've always been like very ambitious in terms of always doing better for myself, and everything that I do it for my family. I do it for Annette and I do it for my son Shane. But in terms of the contest prep, I mean, Annette does absolutely everything for me in terms of my meal prep. I don't have to kind of like get the scales out in the morning. I don't have to cook any food. She's up at 5 a.m, so when I go out my morning walk, Annette gets up, she does all my meal prep. When I come back for the walk, everything's kind of like there, it's prepared. She understands what I'm going through. As you kind of get deep into prep, things get really, really tough in terms of kind of like mentally, physically, emotionally. Anyone that's done a contest prep will know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyone that's not done a contest prep and you're thinking about a contest prep, you need to kind of seriously think about the consequences that come along with it, because it doesn't just put strain on yourself, it puts strain on your relationship, it puts strain on your family if you've got kids, all that kind of stuff. I will always say this, the biggest decision in anyone's life is choosing the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And I think I got my decision absolutely bang on. I could not have asked for a better wife. I couldn't have asked for a better mum to my son. I think Shane will back that up as well. He couldn't have asked for a better person than Annette to be his mum. So, anyone that's kind of going through, if you're early 20s or whatever, or if you've not met that person yet, I'll tell you it right now, the biggest decision in life that you've got to make is who you share the rest of your life with. So here we are, we've just arrived. Week number 2, session number 2, we're going to go in here and smash some chest in at levels. Like I said, I'll repeat it again, it's the best gym in Scotland. I actually look forward to coming here at the weekends, even though it's an hour and a half drive. There's no better place that I would like to kind of like train and record the content and show you guys the best facility kind of, and how I'm kind of getting tighter and leaner and all that stuff using the best equipment in Scotland. So here we go for round number 2. Today we're going to go through a chest workout. Today it's slightly different. Last week we did a wee bit volume, this week it's hypertrophy, so we're going to go 10 to 12 reps on every exercise. I don't know what the coach has loaded in for me until I open up the app, so I'm going to open up the app, see what's in there, but it'll be the usual kind of exercises, incline, flat bench, some cables, all that kind of stuff. So a wee bit of a different warm-up today. Last week it was all about rotator cuffs because I was loosening off the shoulders. This time I go nice and light at the beginning just to kind of get the blood into the chest, get the muscle loosened off, and then we kind of go into the heavy sets after that. So we're just going to get started now. So that's the end of the session there. I actually feel really, really good. Nice and pumped. Now up into the posing room here in levels, get the top off, have a look at the physique, do some comparisons, see how the physique's looking. We'll have a comparison shot for kind of like this week, last week, send it to my coach, he can then kind of see what he thinks. if there's any changes to be made through the week in terms of kind of like diet, nutrition, training, all that kind of stuff, we'll make those changes. What was actually quite pleasing was I actually bumped into an old mate of mine here, so he kind of jumped in and done the session with me, which made it that wee bit easier. So that's the power of the gym, the power of social media. My mate that I've not seen for years stays down the road in Falkirk. He's seen that I was here last weekend, and he says, look, that gym there at Levels, Cumbernauld, is only along the road from me. So it was nice for him to kind of turn up, cheer me on today, work with me, kind of push me through the session. So all in all, feel good. Wee bit posing practice now, and see how the physique's sitting. So that's us at 7 weeks out as of today. Episode number 2 now concluded. I thought it was a really good end to the week. Loved that session there, nice solid chest workout. Made even more kind of like satisfying by bumping into kind of like an old friend, an old acquaintance there as well. I've not seen him in a couple of years, so always nice. As of kind of like when we check in next week, we'll be 6 weeks out, 1 week closer to the show, and this is where it starts kind of really getting real. Speaking to my coach during the week there, we've got 1 more week with 5 high carb days and 2 low carb days, and then in the words of like my coach himself, it's time to drop the hammer next weekend. So we should start to see some serious changes kind of going into it. What we've done deliberately, we were coming in far too quick. We've recognised that. We upped the food, lowered the cardio, so the body's in prime spot. It's in a good place. I know what's coming ahead. There's going to be some tough days, especially next week with work. I've got a really busy schedule at work next week, but me being me, I'm up for it. The harder the challenge, the bigger the reward. That's what I tell everybody. That's kind of like my motto in life. So yeah, I'm up for next week. Gonna grind it out. Looking forward to kind of producing more content for you guys next week. 6 weeks out for the show, checking in, seeing how the physique is. Training might be slightly different. It might be kind of like slightly higher reps, lower weights, all that kind of stuff. So there should be some drastic changes over the next kind of like 6 weeks and beyond leading into the show. How you doing, man?
Okay, how are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. You alright? Good to see you, man. So just carrying on from our gym session where we did chest and levels. Big part of obviously kind of what I do in bodybuilding is recovery. So we're going to take you through what I do in terms of recovery. I've got an appointment with my osteopath Ian, who's been looking after me for well over a year now. I started coming here purely on the basis that a lot of people don't know this, but I've got arthritis in both my hips and both my hands. So as a bodybuilder, it's no ideal. So I kind of took it serious kind of like this time last year. I've had cortisol injections in my hips. I'm waiting for a double hip replacement when the time's right. So I kind of keep on top of things in here. And in terms of lifting heavy, intense training, I keep on top of kind of like looking after my back, my muscles, all that kind of stuff. We'll take you through kind of like what Ian does in terms of recovery for me. So in we go.
Yeah, you okay? Nice, yeah.
How you doing, bud?
Good, yeah, good. So you come, guys?
Aye. One out, one in.
yeah. That's it. Nice. So how have you been? How are you feeling?
I feel alright, mate. My lower back's been feeling it this week, like.
Right, okay.
Just in terms of kind of like tightening up that bit where it
right
is.
Side.
Aye.
Yeah. Risky kind of area, or the one in was it Jamaica? You were
Mexico.
We
went to Mexico just before then.
Yeah.
And then just the elbow as well.
The elbows. Well,
it's better, but it's just, see when I'm doing like curls or something, I just feel it like right in here.
It's just a wee bit tendinopathy. Like it's just loaded. It's just irritated it, overloading it, and then. They are tricky. Like, it's obviously helped a bit by taking the tension off the muscle. We'll get the laser into it again to try and improve the healing.
The laser definitely helps a lot.
Yeah.
I do get a bit of relief.
Yeah, it does.
A couple of days it's...
And we've only done it, I suppose we've only done it once or twice, is it? Yeah. So, well, does take a wee bit of time with the laser, but it helps the healing process. It definitely does. So what we always like with the load that Dougie puts on himself, like in the gym. So a lot of what we do is just relaxing tissue and loosening tissue, because in the gym it's tensing up. You're putting so much neuromuscular load and stimulus through there that everything just gets tight. So we do a lot of through the back, as you can see. He's doing a hell of a lot of loading to look like he does. So we do a lot of manipulation through the spine as well, because it gets it helps release the tissues as well. But he had a little bit of a flare up in the low back, as I say, when he was in Mexico. It was just lifting, wasn't it? But it was a bad position he went in, wasn't it? It was like, it wasn't actually an exercise, and this happens a lot in the gym. It's
lifting a 10 kilo dumbbell.
Yeah, but it's the position you're in, bent over. It's like the old thing we tell people, trying to be careful in the garden and things. Don't lift too heavy, rotating, bending over, lifting. You were maybe in a bit of fatigue as well, I don't know when you did it, but so we tend to do a lot of hands-on stuff just to loosen it all out. Then when we use the laser in a minute, the laser is really good, I find, for tendons. Tendons it's brilliant for. Tendons don't have good blood supply, not a great nerve supply, so they don't heal that quickly. Laser's very good, it just provides energy to stimulate healing. Reduce inflammation, stimulates the healing process, accelerates the healing, so it's good for tendons. We'll do this crack here, so I'll bring you right up. This is a good one, it usually gets a real good crunch in here, so in fact, you know what, I'll turn this off just for... Do it as usual. Right, hands up there, perfect. Nice and relaxed as usual. Hands on my hands, elbows together, and just relax right into me, right in, good. Good. How do you feel? It's lovely, eh?
That's a good one.
You like that?
I feel 10 feet tall.
Right, I'll get you to lie on your back for me. And we'll do this next one.
Dougie, how crucial would you say it is for somebody that's in bodybuilding to do stuff like this?
I think it's mega important to kind of look after your body, especially like what Ian was saying at the start, that because I'm under intense load all the time in the gym, my muscles just cramp up all the time, under constant tension. And then like when I come and see Ian and I walk out of here, I feel absolutely amazing for at least a couple of days, and then it just slowly kind of comes back, and then every time I come back in once a week, we're back to square one. Really.
Just let that go, if you can. Just into here, it just feels, you just relax, good. Lovely, beautiful. Feel okay?
Aye, good.
Oh, some crack. Yeah, it's right on that, right, medial epicondyle there. Just there. So we'll work all the tissues that all connect through there. Just releasing that. So the laser basically, it penetrates into the tissue with laser light, and so it's energy in the form of laser that stimulates the tissue. So it goes into the cells, encourages metabolism of the cells. As I say, tendons, it seems to work very well because they don't have a high metabolism, they have poor blood supply, poor nerve supply, so it stimulates cellular activity which encourages healing. So there's a few things, like takes away inflammation, accelerates healing, and it also reduces pain a lot, and it has a good effect in the instant, so you can walk out feeling a lot better. We often do this like before you train or before you do stuff, but there's a growing evidence for like 4-6 weeks later, because it's encouraged that healing process. After 6 weeks you're further ahead than you would be in the healing process than somebody who's not used it. So we tend to encourage, like, when you get an injury like this, a good dose of laser for a week, 2 weeks, just to stimulate that process. So this bit here is like It's always very jumpy here, eh?
Aye.
She is very reactive.
There's a certain, it's not deep enough to kind of
Yeah.
like work the muscle, if you know
Right,
what I mean.
okay, right, yeah.
And then when you try and kind of like load it, it just doesn't matter what weight I've
Right.
got on. It's just like it's stuck. Like I'm just
Right. Alright. Good, good, good.
the Victorian.
You can't. Perfect, perfect. How are you feeling?
Better.
Good, good.
Better.
10 feet tall and 6
I
feet
do.
wide. Look at his shoulders.
Always leave feeling good, mate.
Good, good. No, I'm glad.